Welcome to Ways to Love Your Money. Happy New Year. I'm Elisabeth Dawson, and we're going to kick off the show this year with talking about estate planning. What's the difference between a will? What's the difference between a living trust? What do I need? So many people out there, about 96% of people out there, have waited and procrastinated, and then they still haven't done anything when it comes to their wishes, if you will, on how to protect their assets. This is one of those things that I want to tell you, do not procrastinate on. Don't assume that something is just going to work out the way you wanted it to. And how would you want to be cared for? Every single person that I've ever had the privilege to speak with, they always will tell me that they have specific things in mind when it comes to how they want to be cared for, how they want to be treated, what they want to have happen to them at the end of their life, where they want their assets to go to, and what they want them to do with it. Well, if you don't have it in writing, if it's not in a legal document, guess what? It's not going to happen, and you're leaving a mess behind for others. I don't want to just talk about the death benefits of a living estate plan. I want to talk about the living benefits of a living estate plan. So why is that important? We can dictate how we want our finances managed. We want to make sure we fund the living trust with our assets. That could be bank accounts, that could be investments, that could be your home, that could be your business. These are very intricate, detailed pieces. Now, there's something to be said. We have a kind of a client story that we want to bring up, and this is something that I've seen multiple times. Sometimes there's a married couple, sometimes there's a partnership couple. And those different pieces where if they never want to get married, how do we protect the other partner in life, or how do we protect our spouse? Well, let's say it's a second marriage. This particular story that I'm kind of bringing in, and I'm changing a few things up, so I don't want you to think I'm just talking about one person, but this is a second marriage. And in this second marriage, there was a few different things. They'd been married for quite a while. There was a prenuptial agreement, and then something unfortunately happened where one of the spouses died in a terrible accident. Well, the surviving spouse, they felt like everything was taken care of, that they were going to be okay. There was a legal amendment to their living trust, and guess what? It didn't go through. It never was signed. And 2 years later, this horrible accident actually occurred. So don't just assume. And in any kind of a relationship, sometimes there's one person that's stronger when it comes to financial matters or legal matters than the other partner. But what if that's the person that predeceases the one that doesn't have the same type of knowledge? I want you to take this into consideration. Think about what I'm talking to you about. Don't just wait or procrastinate on something that's really important to you. Because most people I've ever talked to, we're all control freaks. We're all in control of our lives, and we know exactly what we want to do while we're living and enjoying life. But gosh, what if something does occur? It's not an if, it's a when. When something occurs, it could be you're younger, it could be you're just getting close to retirement, it could be when you're 80s and 90s. It doesn't matter. You just want to make sure that you have everything set up the way you want to. I'll talk sometimes about children. I don't necessarily want the same financial power of attorney to be the same, people that are taking care of that child. That child or children, you want an emotional guardian over those children, someone that would actually take over the responsibility of caring for those children the way that you would want to have them raised. And then the financial power of attorney, so that they are just two separate entities and they're not commingled together. Even though these people over here need help with finances, we want to make sure that the financial power of attorney is linked to make sure that the monies are coming in for those children, but you don't want to have a conflict of interest. And that conflict of interest is if that family is taking care of your children, would they have a conflict of interest of maybe using more money and more proceeds to do things for your two survived children, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 1? It doesn't matter. You want to make sure that you have total control in the design. So this isn't something that I suggest for anyone to do just on their own, just to be able to get by of not paying a fee. You want to make sure that you're looking for opportunities and maybe interview 2 or 3 different attorneys that really specialize in estate planning, because it's your goal, it's your dream, and it's what you want protected. Some of the things that I talk about when we actually set up a personal financial inventory binder for a client, we always want a copy of their living trust and their estate plan inside their personal financial inventory binder. What we'll do is we'll kind of separate out the certification of trust, paperclip it, note it, just so it's flagged. Then we want that healthcare power of attorney, done the same way, so it's flagged, so it's easy to find. If there's ever a health event, I want to make sure whoever it's involving, that those legal documents are available for them to use. That certification of trust is so important too. When you go to your bank, they don't need to see the whole document, they just need to see that certification of trust. That certification of trust will basically put it into the legal entity so it can bypass probate. So many people I've talked to over the years, they'll have hundreds of thousands of dollars in bank accounts, but it's not attached to a living trust. It's not attached to an estate plan. That for sure will go to probate. Recently met with another couple, and the husband's 20 years older than the wife. That could be a major change, but he has been, involved with the businesses, he's been involved with all the finances, and she's had a very modest career, but she's very conservative, he's a little bit more aggressive. If something happens to him, especially the fact that he's 20 years older, where's that going to leave her, financially? Those are documentations that need to be taken care of so that she knows exactly where to go to those business partners, that she knows exactly what monies are going to be available to her, and that her lifestyle will not change. These are just tips and points that I want to bring up to you. Again, I'd love your feedback. Give me a call at 619-640-2622. We can have a conversation about this. We can refer you to several different attorneys that do this work. We just help get you organized to be able to go to that legal professional so that they can do a great job for you. But hopefully we help you save some money because we get your net worth statement all together and organized so that you don't have to go through, a file box or a file cabinet to find all these documents to share with your attorney. It'll just be nice, succinct, and easy to work with. Every couple of years, you want to take that living trust out and take a look at it and see if maybe there's something that I don't agree with here. Or gosh, maybe I sold a property. Or maybe I'm thinking about selling this business. However it might be, you want to make sure that you're looking at each piece as if you're looking at it for the first time and see if you want to make any amendments or changes. Remember this, when you do a living estate plan, a living trust, it's not like it's the only thing that's ever going to be written. You can change it. It's kind of like a beneficiary situation. You can change those beneficiaries anytime on any contracts. So again, this is a lot of information, but I wanted to kick off the new year with something bright and say, be in control of your life while you're living, and then be in control of your life if you're not here any longer. We know it's going to happen one day. We're not guaranteed to, live forever. So let's take the same passion in our work that we do every day to earn money, to build assets, to do all those things, but let's take that next step to protect it. Let's do what's right for us and what's right for our families and for the people that we love in our lives. Again, stay tuned next week. We'll be back with another great show, and can't wait to get your feedback. So let us know what you think about the show. Please share the show with with other people that you know, with whatever social media feeds that you have, because we want to spread the word of this message to as many people as we can possibly reach and change people's lives. Again, remember, this show was built and born off our book, Wealth by Design. If you haven't received a copy of this, please reach out. We'll get you a copy. You can send us questions at elisabethdawson.com, and that's questions with an S and Elizabeth with an S. So questions at elisabethdawson.com. If you let us know that you'd like to get a copy of the book, we'll be happy to send it to you. Or you can go to elisabethdawson.com yourself, and you can actually order the book right there, and it'll take you right to Amazon. All right. Happy New Year. We're out. We're good. We can't wait to see you next week. The information provided in this show is for informational and educational purposes only. This show is not investment advice, nor is it intended to address the financial needs of any particular viewer. The opinions expressed on this show are not intended to be an endorsement of any particular investment strategy or service of any other kind. You must make an independent decision regarding investments or strategies mentioned throughout the show. Before acting on information in this show, you should consider whether it is suitable for your particular situation and strongly consider seeking advice from a financial advisor.